And then I want to do score. I think score is going to be another event-based thing. So if we go to 2048, so there's this score up here. And I think the score is just like if two blocks are going to be merged, you get the points for both of them. So there was a 2 and a 2, and we just got 4 points for that. So 2 and 2 gives us another 4 points, but 4 and 4 gives us 8 points, which doubles. So the point value of the block it turns into is what we get. So we should get 16 here, which will be 44. Yeah. And then 48. So yeah, so we just need to keep track of that score over time. I don't know if events can carry data. I don't want a tracing event. I want... Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Let's go with event writer. Let's go check event writer. Sends events of type T. I bet you events, because they're structs, they can carry data like that. That's the way to do it. I definitely just X'd out of our documentation, which is fine. I'll pull it back up later if we need it. So let's write a score function. Let's see. The score function will probably not interact with anything else, but I'm doing everything in this one this one file anyway. I'll organize it later. Scoring system, we will need to add a new event. So we'll do pub struct like a scorekeep event, or like an add score event, maybe score add. We're gonna need let's do a tuple struct, and let's do like what's the highest number that you can get in 2048? No, you can go higher than that technically. So let's just make this something ridiculous. Like a U32 is fine. We need to keep that state around somewhere. Question time. Where do we keep that state? Let's go look at some of the Bevy examples. You want to hang out, Chrome? No? Okay. You want to be on the other monitor. So let's look at the Bevy examples and see if we can find any examples of like scorekeeping or something like that. I think that this is one of the things that most of like the Bevy tutorials don't cover, or like not the Bevy tutorials specifically, like the official ones, but the this is Bevy Extra. That's not even what I wanted. Bevy Engine. This is one of the things that like the ecosystem tutorials in Bevy tend not to cover, because it's like a little bit more than they take on for whatever reason. Give me the official examples. No score. Interesting. Oh, you can ship this to Android? That's sick. Maybe I'll try to do that. I'll try to ship it to Android at some point. We could do a whole stream on that. I'll probably need to do gesture support. That would be sick. Reflection. Keyboard modifiers. Game inputs. Maybe Breakout probably doesn't have that. Alien Cake Addict. That's a thing, right? Insert resource. Maybe it needs to be... Oh, there we go. Add state. Ha. Let's go Bevy API docs. Let's check add state. Adds new state with a given initial value. This inserts a new state resource and adds a new driver to core stage update. Each stage that uses state for system run criteria needs a driver. If you need to use your state in a different stage, consider using self add state to stage, or manually adding get driver to additional stages you need then. I think we're good with core stage update, but if we're not, we will find out. Okay, so this is game state playing. Let's go find out where else state is on update game state playing. Ooh, they implemented pause here? That's cool. This might be game... This might not be what I want it to be. There's score here. Oh, no, there we go. So game, resmute game. So let's go find game. So maybe the score should be a resource instead. Init resource game. Where's our game struct? So they keep score here in the game struct. So I think we're going to copy them and do that. And then set up game score equals 0. So we can just do that. That's easy. When do they update the score? Plus equals 2. So it's just like a mutable thing that we can just add to. Okay, so we don't even really need to do events. That's cool. We just need to get this resmute game. So let's do that. They derived some stuff on their game struct. Just default. That's fine. So let's do struct game score U32, which will give us a game with a score of 0, because the default for U32 is 0. We do need to add that. So what is it? Add resource, insert resource. What did they do? I know there is an insert resource. Init resource. Init resource is interesting. I want to look up what init resource does. course, if I paste the entire thing, it won't come up. There we go. Init resource. There are no docs for init resource. Great, cool. Let's see. From world, send sync static, mute self. I can't tell what this does from just the type signature. Well, RIP. Okay, cake addict, res mute is the thing that we need. So we're gonna add this to our. It's not new tile. New tile is the wrong thing. Is it actually? Wait. We do the merge and block, right? Block or board shift. So board shift gets access to the game. The game will, whenever we merge, we're gonna have to write this 4 times. So if we mess this up, it will not add correctly. So I think that we confirmed that if we do this and we go game.score plus equals block.to.value, this will just update the score for us. So let's do that. And then I need to, this is the reason that I want to fix this to be one function that operates on stuff, because adding the same little like piece of logic to 4 different places is extremely error prone. And like if I ever need to change how this score works, then I need to like, I already messed it up. I did 3 of them and not 4 of them. Let's go. Okay, so that should work. Let's make sure this compiles. And then we need a text like thing to show this value. Can we like listen to res mute changes? They aren't doing that in here. Change. Nope. Game. Res mute. Always res mute. Spawn bonus. Scoreboard system. There, that's interesting. Game, res game. Single mute. Unwrap. Text sections value. Okay, so they're just like, it looks like they only have one text on this whole board or this whole game. And then they just query for the game res, read it every tick. And if it, like, even if it doesn't change, they just format it in, which is fine. Like, we could do that too. Where's our, so we don't need this event anymore because we're not doing this via events. However, if we were doing it via events, we could prevent that updating from happening all the time, I think. Like, we could listen to the event when the event comes in, and then that's when we update the res mute. Okay, so we have the score function. I'm going to change that to scoreboard system. This is going to be a query for mute text, like with score, I guess? How do we identify the text that we want? Probably a unit struct with score display so that when we insert text, then we can do something like this. Game score. That makes sense. We now need to insert score into, and also they do underscore system for all of these. I feel like that's a good pattern. I'm not going to do it because I didn't do it for any of my other ones. So I can always go back and change that. And this is getting fairly big at this point. Add system. The scoreboard should be running now. It won't find the text that it wants to. So we need to set up. We don't do the text in setup, do we? Materials, UI camera, setup UI. There we go. This is 2048. Where do they put the score in the 2048 like official? They put the score and best. Ooh, best is going to be another thing that's going to be fun to implement. So we kind of have like this and this button over here. Okay, so let's try to do score above button. Parent spawn bundle. This is a node bundle, which I think is the root node. And then we have these 2 that are side by side. Button bundle. Let's do this. And we'll take this node bundle and do it here. And then we'll do it with children. And I will copy paste this because Rust Analyzer is not helping me out today. Yoink. And then this needs to be pulled in. Ooh, this is quite a bit, isn't it? This goes all the way down to here. I'm going to have to clean this up because this is going to get confusing to look at. So parent spawn bundle, button bundle, and parent spawn again, but it's going to be text. So we're going to copy paste this text bundle. And this is going to be like scoreboard for the moment. And that should work. The node bundle is the only thing that I'm concerned about. But let's just see what that does. I think it'll break actually because the scoreboard system is running and we didn't create score display. So let me go create score display, which will be like a unit struct component basically. And then on the text that we just inserted, we will add this so that we can pull that text in and our scoreboard will not fail. So here's our scoreboard, the text bundle, text with section, spawn bundle, dot insert score. What did I call it? Score display? Expected unit found entity commands. So I don't have a semicolon somewhere. Where is that? That is on 199. So this, where does this go to? Yes, that. Okay, so we've got a little score thing here. It looks awful. It doesn't update yet. Oh yes, it does update. Ah, I didn't even realize I was done with that. Okay, so let's reset. Reset doesn't change the score. Yes, this does look awful. Yes, I will fix it. But we need to reset the score first. So what, game reset, and then we need access to game. So we'll add a mutable game for a resource that is mutable of type game, which will give us the game here. And then instead of doing like somewhere here, we'll do game.score equals 0. Oh, rest format is not what I wanted to run. Okay, so we have a game now. If we 4, 8, 16, so we're scoring correctly. That's cool. So you can see the score going up, going up, going up. The whole layout here is super awkward. I think that has something to do with like, ooh. Okay, so we have a bug somewhere. That's interesting. Let's see if it's at the end here. Keep hitting right. I don't know what just happened. It panicked for some reason. It'll take me a minute to reproduce that. But see, this is the other thing that we need to fix, the end game state. Where did it panic? Not much information on that panic either. Okay, well, it doesn't seem to be happening again. So unless we can reliably reproduce it, we won't be able to figure it out. So let's do this. Let's do run. Let's make sure our reset button works. 16, reset, game resets, score resets, score goes back up, reset, game resets, score resets. Cool. So the UI layout is really bad, but the functionality is all there. See, what else do we need? So we have, what did we do today? We did hooked up the score. The score counts up as you get more tiles. After you get more tiles, you get the reset button. The reset button will reset the score to 0, allowing you to completely restart the game. We don't keep track of your largest score. That's something that we should probably do. I mean, we can do that or not do that. It's kind of fun to do that, so I think we'll do that eventually. Maybe not today. And then there was the final thing, which is to test the end game state to see if there are any moves available. Because I believe what happens is that if you are in actual 2048 and you hit the end, so here it does a check, and then because there are no more moves, it says game over. So I think we can execute that fairly well. We already have the functions to like determine whether something should merge or not. The interesting thing that we're going to have to do is we call all of these should merges, and we're going to have to add some additional processing here. So like there's the board, right, or whatever. So the end game check is going to be like if blocks dot length equals 16, 4x4. Yeah, 16. Then we do something, and here we do all 4 of the other sorts. So like we need each of these, and these are annoying and like awkward to keep rewriting. So I think that we need to pull these sort functions out into separate functions so that they exist on their own. Like this sorted by maybe can come out and be like sorted by left or something. And then we do need to do this like should merge check, right? So we need to run this loop to completion, basically. We need to not actually do anything here, I think. And as soon as we have something that could merge, because the board is full here, there's 16 tiles. As soon as we have something that could merge, we break out of this. If we don't have anything that can merge, then we don't have any moves that can be made. So we get all 4 sorts for each board, shift direction. Then after we have all sorts, check each sort for any merge possibility. If a merge is possible anywhere, break out immediately or continue immediately. It's awkward phrasing. And if there's no merge possible anywhere, end game. So I think the process here is going to be a to-do, as in like step 1, end game if 16 blocks are on field. 2, end game with proper checks. 3, save high score if is high score. Actually, we don't need to do that here. We can do that somewhere else. So we're leaving this as a to-do with, we're going to end the game if 16 blocks are on the field, which means that we have a full board. That will force us to actually create like an end game scenario. So in 2048 over here, they like tile over the thing and you don't get to put any more inputs in. So we get to introduce this like game state. So like we're going to have a game state for a running game and a game state for a game over. So we're going to flip that game state over to game over, and then we'll stop listening to a bunch of stuff. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. I don't know if we're going to use stages. Well, I don't think we're going to use stages. I don't think stages in my head keep being something different than they actually are, which is why I said that. But yeah, there's no remove system, which is interesting. So we're not going to be dynamically dealing with like inserting and removing systems to start and stop the game. I don't think anyway. Let's look at what else we have here. Removal detection, startup system, system chaining. Oh, this is like from a menu state. That's cool. Actually super useful. So if we add state, yeah, so they're using app state. They have system sets. So you can drive which systems are running based on the game state or some state variable. So add system set on enter. So when we enter the app state menu, then the setup menu is run. When we update the menu system is run. And when we exit the menu, cleanup menu is run. So I feel like that's the way that we're going to end up doing this. We're going to end up having a game state of like game playing and game over. And game over will do some things. Whenever we're in game, it adds these systems. I assume it removes them when we're not in game. So maybe we can do like keyboard handling for in game does the board shift. And then that keyboard handling will only be applied when we're in game. So yeah, that'll be fun. I think that'll be a different stream though. We've been going for a bit now. We got quite a bit done. Just as a final, like what we got done today. Oh, I just messed something up. Blocks dot iter mute, because that's how that has to work. Not exactly what I want, but that's fine. And then this is going to be like, hey, you used. So what we got done today, the UI looks horrible, but we got the score going up like this. That's an awkward bug right there. I think I just triggered a tile to land on another tile that is not. I'll have to look at the VOD and see exactly what just happened there. I'm really happy I'm recording this. Ooh, that'll be a fun bug to figure out. Oh man, okay, that's going to be a really fun one. Anyway, so we have this score setup that we have today. We also have this button that I haven't renamed yet that will reset the game for us, and then we can start playing again. So we have a full 2048. Oh, I just did it again. Actually, I just saw that bug pop up. I just need to remember to stop when it shows up. I can't tell if that's a bug with the easing or a bug with the logic. There is that little bug in there though. Okay, we're also going to have to at some point change the font size based on the numbers. So that 128 fits in the box, like 4 and 32 and things like that too. But for now, I'm happy with this. There are more bugs to fix, more things to do, but there will always be more things to do, and we can always make this better. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and I will see you in Discord if you hang out in Discord.